following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I'm on the Four Winds H260. This is a family bow rider with a nod towards sportiness. Let's take a look and see how she performs first.
Before we get anywhere into this test, this boat deserves a look at the hull out of the water. Four Winds has a bit of a unique take on hull design. It's called the stable V hull. In actuality, it's a stepped hull, but unlike others we've seen in class where the step is at midships, here the step is well aft at the stern quarters. It also takes on more of a teardrop cross-section, and the leading edge is well curved as it moves in towards the keel. Plus, there's a more pronounced hook to the reverse chine that we're used to seeing. All of this should produce better performance with less horsepower, and we'll be testing her with a base horsepower engine. We should also see a better turning hull. We'll see. Lastly, we're seeing an extended running surface that comes well out past the transom where the outdrive is mounted. This should provide a quicker time to plane and certainly a lower planing speed. We'll look to validate that as well. So let's get to it. The Four Winds H260 SS has a length overall of 26 feet 6 inches, a beam of 8 feet 5 inches, and a draft of 35 inches. With an empty weight of 5,200 pounds, 3/4 fuel, and 2 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 5,935 pounds. With the Volvo Penta VA350 turning a DP outdrive with FH4 prop sets, we reached a top speed of 51 miles per hour at 5960 RPM. At that speed, fuel burn was 28.5 gallons per hour, which translates to a full fuel range of 113 miles. There's the better performance with less horsepower validated. Her best economy was measured at 3,500 RPM and 27.8 miles per hour. It was at this speed that the fuel burn at 8.4 gallons per hour produced the most advantageous miles per gallon, and in fact, the range opened up to 209 statute miles. Excellent economy can now be checked off the list as validated. Now let's see what that extended running surface does for us. She has good acceleration with 2.8 seconds time to plane. She also maintains that speed well into the low RPM range with speeds in the mid to upper teens. We reach 20 miles per hour in 5 seconds and continue through 30 miles per hour in 7 seconds. So again, we're seeing better performance with less horsepower. Starting with gentle turns, we can already see how the hook chines are serving well with the responsiveness. With more aggressive turns, she's excellent. With perfect tracking, but with none of the grab that throws everything to the sides, this is a boat that really likes to deal with a heavy hand. There's no chine walk whatsoever, no prop ventilation, and through all of it, not a drop on the windshield. When crossing wakes, we notice that she rides up and over the waves and shoulders the spray off nicely. She catches a bit of air and makes a gentle re-entry. Now let's look over some of her operational features. We'll start in the engine compartment, where we first see a clever feature: storage on top of the engine, where the heat of the engine will dry everything out nicely. With it removed, we have a much better view of the installation. This boat is rated for engines ranging from 350 to 380 from either Merc or Volvo Penta. As stated earlier, this is the base engine size, and the installation favors room in the cockpit rather than in the engine compartment, which makes sense. If the mechanics need to, they can remove the bulkheads for more room. And notice how clean and finished off the compartment is. This isn't gelled, it's all lined and easy to keep clean. The battery switch is in the compartment just alongside. At the helm, Four Winds added a classy look with a stitched brow. It's in a dark color, eliminating adverse reflecting in the low-profile windshield, and it's hand-stitched with contrasting UV-resistant thread. Below is a carbon fiber textured weave that is soft to the touch. Further below is the stereo and the EVC engine display with selectable readouts. To the right are the switches, all mounted to bases cut from billet aluminum. The horn is actually a horn and not an ineffective buzzer. The 3-spoke leather-wrapped wheel is mounted to a tilt base. The digital engine control has the typical features: single-button stop-start, cruise assist. There's a step to the side that makes a comfortable footrest, but it's a drink holder that accepts that these hold more than drinks, as there's an MP3 port and a 12-volt supply directly adjacent. The company uses the same fabricator for its panels that Tesla does for its cars. The digital depth gauge is standard. And there's even a courtesy light over the lower panel. The upper doesn't need this, as all the gauges are backlit anyway. At the bow, there's an anchor locker with anchor keepers. The rode runs through a molded notch in the foredeck with a pull-up 7-inch cleat in the center. So even with the locker closed off, there's a smooth form to the deck. We were also fitted with the optional docking lights. So that takes care of the operational features. Let's turn our attention to the water sports features. It all happens here at the transom. The full beam swim platform comes out 29 inches, making for an easy walk across. The platform sits only 3 inches from the water, so reboarding isn't an issue. The non-skid surface is continued on the step in the middle. This step also serves as a footrest when sitting on the sun pad. There's even a backrest that pops up out of the sun pad for keeping a watchful eye when at rest. Dual JL audio speakers and a stainless steel ski toe round out the sports features. Back to the sun pad, it measures 7 feet 1 inch by 45 inches deep, offering plenty of space to sprawl out. The starboard side of the pad lifts up into place to create a chaise lounge. This also reveals the walk through to the cockpit. This is where the freshwater shower is placed as well. Down the molded-in steps is the L-shaped seating. The operator and observer seats will swivel around to create an open conversation area, and there's storage under every seat. Above it all, guests are protected from the sun with an optional bimini top with stainless steel hardware, and it's even collapsible. Finally, we'll make our way to the bow where we have 2 deep contoured seats. Plus, not only do the armrests flip up, but the headrests are adjustable as well. Overall, this was an impressive boat, not only in her sporty looks, but in her excellent handling characteristics.
Well, I have to say, aside from this luxurious interior, I've become a big fan of the Stable V hull. That's my look at the H260 from 4 Winds. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.